It was the summer of 1947. A rancher named Mac Brazel is tending to his livestock. He's miles from town, out near Corona, New Mexico. Something catches his eye, strange debris scattered across the ground. It's not like anything he's ever seen before. Metallic, lightweight, and covered in strange symbols. The debris is spread over a large area, like something crashed there. Brazel called Sheriff George Wilcox to report the crash site, who went out to investigate. Upon seeing the debris field himself, Wilcox in turn reported the incident to Roswell Army Airfield. The military, in the midst of the Cold War, is on high alert. Could this be something from the Soviets? Major Jesse Marcel, an intelligence officer, is sent to investigate. He returns to the base with a truck full of the mysterious wreckage. Excitement ripples through Roswell. The local newspaper, the Roswell Daily Record, publishes a bombshell headline: "Our AAF captures flying saucer on ranch in Roswell region." The story spreads like wildfire, picked up by newspapers nationwide. The world holds its breath. Have we made contact? Then, just as quickly, the story changes. Higher-ups in the military issue a new statement. The debris? Just a weather balloon, they claim. Nothing for the public to worry about. The excitement dies down, but for some, the questions linger. Why the sudden change of heart? What was really found in the desert that summer? In today's episode, we will dive into the biggest UFO mystery that occurred in the 20th century, the Roswell incident. The official explanation, a crashed weather balloon, never sat well with everyone. By the time events had run their course, the world would be led to believe that Brazel had found the remains of a weather balloon. The debris, witnesses claimed, was like nothing they'd seen before, lightweight yet incredibly strong. Brazel, Sheriff Wilcox, and U.S. Air Force Major Jesse Marcel recalled that the metal recovered from the crash site was lightweight and couldn't be dented. Not even a sledgehammer warped the material. It always returned to its original shape. Additionally, an I-beam with unfamiliar writing on it was recovered from the scene of the crash. Brazel's son, Bill, also echoed the description of the recovered debris. According to Bill Brazel, over the years he would pick up little pieces of the strange metal in the vicinity of the original debris field. He described these as a metal-like substance, something on the order of tinfoil, except that this stuff wouldn't tear and was actually a bit darker in color than tinfoil, more like lead foil, except very thin and extremely lightweight. The odd thing about this foil was that you could wrinkle it and lay it back down and it immediately resumed its original shape. It was quite pliable, yet you couldn't crease or bend it like ordinary metal. It was almost more like a plastic of some sort, except that it was definitely metallic in nature. This was no ordinary balloon, they insisted. Adding fuel to the fire, rumors of a cover-up began to circulate. Witnesses came forward claiming to have seen strange egg-shaped craft in the area. Others whispered of alien bodies recovered from the crash site and whisked away to secret government facilities. Sergeant Melvin Brown was on site during the mission to recover the debris from the crash site. He was told not to look under a tarp, but his curiosity got the best of him. When he peeked, he claimed he saw 2 alien bodies. The government has always denied his claims, but Brown is far from the only person to say they saw extraterrestrial beings recovered from Roswell. There was a second crash site 40 miles away from Brazel's ranch where more wreckage and alien bodies were recovered. A firefighter who responded to the second site recalled seeing a large disc in the ground with several small non-human bodies nearby. Military officials on the scene pressured the firefighter to keep quiet about the things he saw. Those who participated in the recovery of the bodies have provided consistent descriptions of what these extraterrestrial biological entities, the official designation according to some unconfirmed accounts, looked like. They were 4 to 5 feet tall, humanoid, with big heads, large eyes, and slit-like mouths. They were thin and had long arms with 4 fingers. An Army nurse named Naomi Sipes, who worked on the initial autopsy at Roswell, remarked on how fragile the skull and bones were. Within hours, the bodies were put into large sealed wooden crates, loaded into the bomb bay of a B-29, and flown to Fort Worth Army Airfield. From there, they went almost immediately to Wright Field. Those who participated in recovering alien bodies at Roswell kept silent for years. Finally, as initial reports of the Roswell incident began to appear in the 1980s, they began to confide to close friends or family members what they had seen. Even then, they were uneasy, still afraid of getting into trouble. One participant, Captain Oliver "Pappy" Henderson, flew the plane that first spotted the bodies. Apparently, judging from what he told his family, he also saw the bodies up close. Sergeant Melvin Brown rode in a truck with the bodies from the crash site to Roswell Field, then stood guard at the hangar where they were first stored. Several persons who were at Wright Field or who knew individuals who were, have testified to the arrival of wreckage and bodies at Wright in July 1947. One of these, retired General Exxon, says a top-secret committee was formed to oversee the investigation of this and other highly classified UFO incidents. Nearly 20 years later, when he took command of the base, the committee was still operating. It had nothing to do with Project Blue Book, the poorly funded, inadequate project that apparently served little more than a public relations function. As Brigadier General Bolender had indicated in an internal Air Force memorandum, UFO reports, which could affect national security, are not part of the Blue Book system. Decades later in 1994, the story changed again. The UFO was described as being a spy balloon. The government admitted their explanation in 1947 of the crashed object being an ordinary weather balloon was just a cover story, and the debris came from a craft designed to monitor Soviet nuclear tests. The code name given to the mission was Project Mogul, but for many, this explanation felt too convenient, a way to dismiss the extraordinary. The military's shifting story, the whispers of cover-ups, and the sheer strangeness of the debris created a perfect storm of speculation. Roswell, once a sleepy desert town, became synonymous with the unknown. The incident, dismissed by some as a case of mistaken identity, fueled the imaginations of those who dared to believe we were not alone. The Roswell incident is more than just a story about unidentified objects in the sky. It's a story about people. People like Mac Brazel, the rancher who stumbled upon the debris that would change his life forever. A humble man, Brazel was thrust into the spotlight, his simple life turned upside down. Then there's Major Jesse Marcel, the intelligence officer tasked with investigating the crash. Marcel, initially convinced he had recovered something extraordinary, was later silenced by his superiors. He carried the weight of what he saw that day in the desert for the rest of his life. Other figures emerged from the shadows as the years went by, witnesses who claimed to have seen the crash or the alien bodies recovered from the wreckage. Some spoke of shadowy government agents, the men in black, who threatened them into silence. Whether these stories are true or the product of overactive imaginations, they add to the mystique of Roswell. The incident became a tapestry woven from first-hand accounts, official denials, and whispered rumors. It's a story where the line between fact and fiction blurs, leaving us to grapple with the unknown. While the government maintains that the Roswell debris originated from a downed weather balloon, alternative theories persist. Some believe the debris was of extraterrestrial origin, evidence of a crashed alien spacecraft. They point to the unusual properties of the material, the strange symbols, and the accounts of alien bodies as proof. Others speculate that the debris belonged to a top-secret Soviet aircraft, perhaps an early attempt at building a stealth spy balloon. This theory, while less sensational, could explain the military's intense secrecy and the swiftness with which they changed their story. Then there are the theories involving government conspiracies, interdimensional beings, and even time travelers. While these theories are often dismissed as the stuff of science fiction, they highlight the enduring power of the Roswell incident to capture our imaginations. Whether you believe in spaceships, secret government projects, or something else entirely, there's no denying the allure of the unknown. Roswell, with its tantalizing mix of fact and speculation, invites us to ask the biggest question of all: are we alone? This concludes today's episode of the Paranormal Report. If you enjoyed today's episode, please give us a thumbs up, and consider subscribing to our channel. It is due to your continued viewership and support that we are able to bring you interesting and informative videos like this. The team here at the Paranormal Report really appreciates your support.